Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Don't Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. In today's video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to talk about Travis Hunter and the reason why I feel like this could be a hot take. Some people have also been saying it. He could legit win the Heisman this year, and it's not even close. Now, the big question is, can he win the Heisman if his team does not do good? Right now, currently, Colorado, I believe they're 2-1. They're looking okay, but they look more or less like a 5 to 6 win team. Probably eligible to get a bowl game if they can get that 6 win. A lot of people have kind of said, would we actually give the Heisman Trophy to a player that's on a team that's barely making a bowl game? So more or less a bad team. Usually these Heisman winners are teams that at least make the playoff or get towards the national championship game, you know, are one of these like highlight reel players that are in their conference championship games. The reason why you're winning is because of this player. And if you look at the team and you say, man, you have 6 losses, how are you a Heisman Trophy winner? If you're a Heisman Trophy winner, they're supposed to be making your team be unstoppable and helping you win all the time. But with Travis Hunter, he is like the most electric player we've seen in a while, more than the fact because he can play receiver at a top 5 player in all of college football level. And he's also arguably a top 5 corner in all of college football. And I'm not going to lie, I'm thinking back in my brain to try to figure out, is there anybody else that's ever done that? And I don't know if there has. Might be having a brain fart, and there might be 1 or 2 out there. Like I said, brain fart going on. But Travis Hunter is doing some real crazy shit right now that we need to appreciate. So kind of what I wanted to do in today's video is, like I said, kind of talk about Travis Hunter's possibility of becoming a Heisman Trophy winner. And then I also kind of want to branch off a little bit and talk about what are his chances of how he's going to do in the NFL. If he gets drafted, how could he look whenever he goes to the NFL? Could he maybe take his talent more receiver level? Should he go more corner level? Or could he possibly just do both? There's a lot we got to talk about today's video. Now, before we go any further, I'm going to let you guys know all information you're going to be seeing on screen. There's going to be 2 different articles, things that we're going to be talking about, like I said, with Travis Hunter and the NFL possibilities, and also him winning a Heisman Trophy possibility. We're going to be discussing all that, and both articles will be linked down in the description below, so if you want to go check them out for yourself, feel free. But without further ado, we're going to get straight into this. If you're going to enjoy, as always, make sure you go and drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. But without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, as you can see here from this article, it says here Travis Hunter could be the Heisman Trophy winner and also possibly the #1 pick in the NFL draft. Now, when it comes to Travis Hunter, like I said, with him playing receiver and corner, right here are some of the stats that he had for kind of how he did at the game against Colorado State. Now, I do realize Colorado State is not the big premier opponent. They're not like some of these big time opponents, the Alabamas, the Michigans, the Texas, the Georgias, the Ohio State, the premier opponents. But you still have to appreciate what he did. He had 14 targets, 13 catches at 100 yards, 2 touchdowns when he was playing receiver. And when he was playing corner, he was targeted, his receiver that he was guarding was targeted 5 times and he only allowed 23 yards. He got a pick and he broke up another pass. Now, I do believe, as it says here, the last corner to, or just like DB, to win a Heisman Trophy was Charles Woodson. And Charles Woodson had an amazing year that year with Michigan. Now, I want to take a second just to appreciate what he's done literally in just 3 games here at Colorado for the 2024 season. As you can see, for receiving, 30 passes he caught, 342 yards. He's averaging 11 yards per catch, and also he's got 5 touchdowns. The dude is pretty much playing as a premier receiver in college football. And when it comes to defense, as you can see here, he's got 11 total tackles, 6 solo tackles. He's got 2 pass breakups. Like I said, he's got the interception. He's making some crazy plays this year. I think the problem with the Heisman Trophy sometimes is we just pretty much chalk it up to being, it's a quarterback award. It's sometimes maybe like a running back award, a receiver award, if they do the amazing stats. Usually with a quarterback, as long as you look good, you're like 4,500 yards sometimes. Maybe you get like 30 passing touchdowns and your team is like in the playoffs, you know, you win the conference championship game, something along those lines. Or just like you are arguably, there's no pretty much debate, not even arguably, you can look at this player and be like, they were the best player on the field the entire year. They're going to get the Heisman Trophy. When it comes to other players like running back, receiver, usually with like a running back standpoint, you got to get up around like 2,000 yards rushing, or sometimes even like maybe 1,500 yards rushing can do it. But the reason why you won games in the year that you were there was because you were on the field. If you even went out for a second, your team just went down. And when you were on the field, it was like everybody was watching you. You were the most electric player and the best player in college football. For Travis Hunter's cases, like I said with receiver, same thing applies for receiver. You have to be going bazonkers. Last year, Marvin Harrison Jr., he was a Heisman finalist. I forget exactly what his stats were. I'll pull them up here in a second. As you can see here, he had 67 catches for 1,200 yards and 14 touchdowns. He was amazing. Travis Hunter right now, I believe he's probably on pace to get probably 15, 16, 17 touchdowns, maybe more than 1,500 yards. Yeah, it's like if you're going to get up to around 12 games this season, he's probably going to get probably over 100 receptions. He's going to get 342 yards right now through 3 games. I would say, if he gets into like some big time shootout games, like Shedeur Sanders has to start airing the ball out to Travis Hunter, they're going to get up around 1,400 yards and let's say 15 touchdowns. This dude's going to have a great season as a receiver. And then just imagine if he can add on with the corner ability and he can go out there and he can have, let's say right now he's got 1 pick. Let's say he finishes up the season with 3 picks, 4 picks. He's got plenty of pass breakups. His completion percentage that he allows receivers when they throw the ball against him, it is still really low. The Heisman Trophy is supposed to be given out to the best overall player in college football. Why would you not give it to Travis Hunter? Now, let's also talk about the possibility, like I said, with him, could he be selected number 1 overall? How will he do in the NFL? As we can see, we kind of talk about some of the things that they're kind of talking about. Mel Kiper Jr., he's the draft analyst. He's kind of been talking about Travis Hunter and the possibility of him being going number 1. He says here in a release, quote, Hunter has a great feel for the game on both offense and defense, and we saw it in Colorado's opener against North Dakota State, Kiper said. Quote, he played a whopping 124 of 126 scrimmage snaps and took over, showing his talent at both receiver and cornerback. I really think he has a chance to play both sides of the ball early in his pro career and make impact both ways. The offensive and defensive coordinators for the team that ultimately drafts him are going to be battling each other to use him. He's a top two-way player on my board at both positions. Now, it was also kind of said with Travis Hunter that he might need to cut it back a little bit. Like I said earlier, he might have to cut it back on one of the ends. Like, he could play corner and a receiver, but he needs to cut it back on one. Like, maybe gets like a pitch count of receiver, gets a pitch count of corner. With 126 scrimmage snaps, I would say right there is about, what, quick math, 60 snaps each. Cut it back to like 30 and 30. Try not to try to make it to where he's not out there all game long and he's just barely ever getting breathers and he's just taking hits on hits. When he's a receiver, he's getting hit by guys, getting tackled, and when he's a DB, he's getting hit tackling guys. Now, this might be a really like fire hot take, like, oh my god, we just set the house on fire hot take. Imagine with Travis Hunter, you could get a guy that could be another Justin Jefferson, another Jamar Chase type player at receiver, and he can also play defense at the level of like a Jalen Ramsey, a Patrick Surtain. Like I said, that might be a hot take, very hot take. But imagine he could develop into being that, and you had that player on your team. Or imagine you're in the draft, and he ended up slipping the whole way down to like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, something like that. Those teams at the top of the draft, when they see Travis Hunter develop, and they are like, oh my god, why didn't we draft him? I'll tell you 2 things are going to happen. 1, they're going to be kicking themselves, and 2, they're going to be fired. Now, last few things before we wrap it up, I kind of want to say this. When it comes to Travis Hunter, like I said with the Heisman Trophy, it's supposed to go to the best overall player. If he's the best overall player and he's out there balling, sure, you could look at other players around the league. You could look at quarterbacks like Quinn Ewers. Right now, Quinn Ewers, I believe, is injured, so he's going to be down. Archer Manning might step in, become a Heisman finalist. Shedeur Sanders is a good choice if you wanted to go that route. You could go with Dylan Gabriel. There's a lot of good options out there whenever it comes to picking your Heisman finalists. But I just feel like with this award, you want to try and get the best overall player. So let's try and figure this out. Is it supposed to be a quarterback award, or is it supposed to be anybody's game? Because sure, quarterback could go out there and, like I said, put up 4,000 yards, 35 touchdowns, only like 3 picks across the season, be amazing. But with Travis Hunter, he is doing something that we don't see happen often. Like, a player playing offense and defense doesn't really happen in the NFL, like, ever. It's college, it's very rare. High school, it happens all the time. We see guys play receiver and DB. We see guys play running back and linebacker. We see offensive line and defensive line. But when we get to college, usually you got recruited and kind of transitioned into being a one-position player. They kind of figure out which position you were better at. They say, okay, this is what you're going to be. This is what we're going to develop you at. This is what we're going to train you to be better at. And then ultimately, when you get to the draft of the NFL, that's the position you are, and you were drafted to be that guy. But Travis Hunter, he's going to be a unicorn. I'm just going to say that. But last thing, to kind of wrap it up, like I said, he should be the Heisman front runner right now. He could easily, if he stays healthy, because that is a big thing. Like I said, he needs to be on a pitch count a little bit. But if he stays healthy, and he can go out there and put up, like I said, 100 receptions, 1,500 yards, 15, 16 touchdowns, and he can also play DB at a high level, guard receivers, don't let anybody catch the ball, tackle, monster. He can get interceptions, and he can be a freak of nature on the football field. Heisman, number 1 overall pick, is very bright future for him. But other than that, I think I'm going to wrap up there. Hopefully you guys did go and enjoy today's video. If you did enjoy it, as always, make sure you go and drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. If you wanted to watch the entirety of today's video, thank you very much. And like I said, if you have a different opinion, do you agree or disagree with anything I said? Do you think Travis Hunter will be a Heisman Trophy winner this year? Will not become a Heisman Trophy winner? Do you think he'll be the number 1 overall pick? Not the number 1 overall pick? Whatever your opinion may be, go ahead and leave your complete opinion down in the comment section down below. I'd be more than welcome to kind of talk about it with you guys. If you're a fan of the content that I do post here and you want to go and hit that big or subscribe button, feel free to do so. And do not forget to hit that little notification bell to be notified second I post. But without further ado, this has been Dylan Talk Sports. Have a great day. Peace.